So on Facebook, I am friends with quite a large number of people who aren't necessarily in my age group, and they're not necessarily family. A lot of them are my mom's friends, other moms who have children that are a couple years younger than me, probably a decade in between. So these kids are probably, I'm going to say 8 to 12 in that age group somewhere. And I've noticed a lot of them sharing the story about tree change dolls. If you guys don't know about these dolls, there's this Tasmanian artist named Sonia Singh, and she found a couple of Bratz dolls one day at like a used, I guess, like yard sale or maybe a thrift shop, and decided that she was going to repaint the faces and kind of make them a little bit more age appropriate and give them a little bit of a make under. So I watched a couple videos on this. It was in the news and everything. And I understand why a lot of parents and even children could enjoy a doll like this. There's this really, really weird missing market of ages in doll lines. You kind of either have these dolls that are babies, like the baby dolls, or teenagers, like Monster High, Ever After High, Bratz, that kind of thing, or adults, like Barbie. There's not many dolls that are marketed towards that preteen adolescent age that are actually the same age as the group they're being marketed to, which is a little bit weird. And I think that's why a lot of kids like dolls, like American Girl, and that's why that brand in particular is so popular. And I think that's why Lottie Doll is getting more popular as well, because those dolls are actually made to look like that age group that's missing, that has been missing for some time. Another reason that's why I think Skipper was pretty popular too before. Um, and before this video starts, before I get into like the real meat of what I'm going to talk about, I would just like to clarify, I am in no way bashing this woman. I've watched the video. She said it herself that she isn't trying to make any statement about the dolls, and her objective is just kind of trying to make them look like kids instead of adults and teenagers. I think that's fine. She seems like a real sweetheart. I think that repainting dolls, remaking them is awesome. And it's kind of cool that she's recycling these dolls that, were just found in used stores. Um, but I think the real issue is other people's reactions to it, and that's kind of what I'm going to talk about today. So when I was on Facebook, like I said, I'm friends with a lot of moms who are friends with my own mom. And about 3 or 4 of them like the tree change doll page on Facebook. I looked at the comments that they made, and it was very disheartening. Um, and just the comments in general, they kind of went into this certain trend. Most of them were made under the before and after of the make under of the dolls. And a lot of them were positive. A lot of them said that she did great work, that they appreciated how cute the dolls were, and that it was nice to have a doll that kind of showed their child's age group. So I thought that was great, but my problem was with the extreme vulgar ones, which I thought was completely ironic because most of them were under this sense of saying that Bratz kind of sexualized young girls and that they taught young girls to be prostitutes and streetwalkers and quote unquote whores. And I thought that language was so inappropriate and disgusting to talk about in terms of a children's toy. And I just think it's funny because these are probably the same parents who are against bullying and against making judgments on people or trying to teach their kids not to make judgments on people. But here they are telling young girls that you should judge someone for wearing really exaggerated makeup. You should judge someone for wearing tight clothing. And you should judge someone for wearing high heels, and I think that is so wrong because you're basically teaching your daughter that your daughter needs to look a certain way, that your daughter needs to be conservative and not wear revealing clothes and not wear that much makeup, and that they have to do all this to be treated with respect. And you're teaching young boys that they don't have to respect girls who quote unquote put themselves out there. And I really was disgusted by the discussion that was being made under these dolls, truthfully. To me, if parents want natural looking dolls, I think that's wonderful. I think they should seek other doll lines who do that and support doll lines that are trying to come up with that aesthetic. But at the same time, I don't think fashion dolls in general need to be changed just because you think that they have to be. Fashion dolls are really important to a lot of people, including myself, and to be honest, I'm not a big fan of natural looking dolls. That's not my thing. And I think you should let your child play with the doll that he or she wants to. And back to this kind of weird thing that you're putting into kids' heads. The little comments that you make as children to your children forms them over time and then forms a solid opinion when they're adults. And you're putting this image of she's asking for it in little doses without realizing it. Wearing makeup, a lot of makeup, doesn't mean that someone's looking for sex. That doesn't mean that someone's a whore. Wearing tight clothes, wearing revealing clothes does not make someone inappropriate. So my question to you, to all the doll collectors out there, adult, what do you guys think about true change dolls? Do you like them? Do you hate them? Do you not really get them? Would you buy this for your child if you had one? And if so, why? And also, do you think that fashion dolls should be changed to meet the guidelines of what parents want their children to play with?